Howdy, Simmers. I know the hype for Enchanted by Nature has died down, especially with a new expansion pack coming out soon, but I'm gonna be honest, I am not over it yet. I am still obsessed with the fairies. Which means, yes, I did build another fairy house in The Sims 4, and I think it came out really cute, and I also used glass walls because I'm trying to use that feature a little more. I just can't help myself at this point. Like, my love of fairies is way too strong for me to have moved on already from this pack. We've only had it for a few months, and I know that, there's a lot of hype around the expansion that's coming out very soon, and Enchanted by Nature very much does not deserve to even be called an expansion pack. Like, I do understand. But I love fairies so much that I just cannot get enough of building fairy homes. And truthfully, I have not done a lot of it on my channel. I've done a few things with Enchanted by Nature. I did build a fairy cottage before Enchanted by Nature even came out. And I did build like one fairy-esque house with Enchanted by Nature for my members. So you guys didn't even get to see that. And I didn't even put it on the gallery. So it felt a little unfair to me to not have like a proper fairy home for you guys on the gallery and available. So that's what we're working on today. And like I said, I was using the glass walls feature because I have been doing a little bit of stuff with it lately, and I just feel like I need to use it more. There are a lot of features, especially like build by related, that I've kind of ignored and avoided, aka the round rooms, and I think everyone kind of avoids those at this point. But I just wanted something that really felt magical and, just a lot of fun to be available for you guys, because I really do like building in this style. And it's so different from what I would typically build because, like, as you guys probably know, I am very much a family home builder. And as soon as Enchanted by Nature came out, I was all over that. Like, I loved this pack, and I had been building so much stuff, not even for just you guys. Like, I built a lot of fairy homes for myself that aren't even on the gallery, and they're all, like, kind of mediocre at best, I guess. But no, I wanted to give you guys something, and I don't know, fairy homes have been my niche for the last little bit since this pack came out. Now, this house that I am building, I was originally planning on making it like entirely glass walls, like one of my recent builds, because I just thought that would be really interesting to do. But I also kind of remembered how overwhelming and a little insane that was. And so I thought I would kind of mellow it out a little bit, maybe still use glass walls as like a big feature of the house, but not go overboard and not build like a house entirely made of glass walls, because I did that. And that build turned out okay. But for this fairy house, I wanted to implement more of the fairy than the glass walls while still kind of incorporating it. So what I've done is we have this not really rounded section on one side of the house that there's like a little hallway going up to it. And that section is just entirely glass walls. So, yeah. But I really like how this build came out, honestly. I went with this lighter color scheme, this like light blue, light pink, and I've never used it before since this pack came out, and so I was very like wanting to lean into this. We're building on the lot that is originally like I want to say it's Mystical Besties household or something. It consists of the sim from the trailer for Enchanted by Nature, who like became a fairy in that trailer, and this one other fairy sim who I actually love. Her name is Nadia, and she is just so gorgeous. And I didn't even realize that they were in a household together until I was building this. So, yeah. But anyway, we're building on a lot that is not actually my favorite, honestly. I almost built on this tree lot again. There's a little lot in Inniscreen that is on like this giant tree. And I built the Enchanted by Nature like tiny home on that lot, and I almost did it again because I just really like that lot. There aren't a lot of lots that are sizes I'm comfortable with, I guess. I primarily like to build on 20 by 20s or 20 by 15s. The lot in that tree section is a 20 by 20. And I believe I'm building on a 20 by 30 for this. I think that's the lot size. So we're on a little bit of a bigger space, hence why it's a little bit of a longer house, I guess. So usually when I try to make a big house and I'm on a small lot, I would just go up. This time I went up and over. So we have a lot of pinks and blues kind of throughout this house. We have this kind of darker purplish pink as well, just to kind of tie it in. And, I didn't want everything to be so overwhelming. Like, we definitely have a lot of elements of this, but then I do kind of do some other stuff just to, I guess, break it up. So I will say I am still upset with the lack of some things in Enchanted by Nature. Like, I really just wish they had given us more, because what we do have from them is really good, and I do really like it. But I want more of this style. I want this pack to have more than it did. And unfortunately, I'm just working with what I got. But I don't think it came bad at all. I actually think it's really, really nice. I'm gonna tell you right now, I put a fireplace into this build and completely forgot to add a chimney. So, it's fine. It's just whatever, it's a magical fireplace. Who knows where the smoke and ash and all that stuff is going? Meh. But yeah, this house ends up being a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. So we have 1 bathroom downstairs, 1 upstairs, and then there are actually 2 bedrooms upstairs. And for this giant glass wall section that I have in this build, I did not fully know what I was going to do at the time, and then I did. And that was the first level, the ground level of this area, is basically a greenhouse. So, very well lit greenhouse with the glass walls. But I use a lot of, like, I don't know, I use a mix of Enchanted by Nature, the Blooming Rooms kit, and also the Greenhouse Haven kit for the nature aspects, because I wanted there to be kind of a lot of stuff to it. Unfortunately, there really is not a lot of nature stuff actually in Enchanted by Nature, not without going into debug, which I was not about to do, if I'm being honest. So what I end up doing is just grabbing a bunch of these plants from the Blooming Rooms kit and, anything I can get from Greenhouse Haven. I think I used stuff from Greenhouse Haven. Actually, like, I know I checked it, but I might have just used stuff from the Blooming Rooms kit. Anyway, you can see I'm putting down a bunch of stuff anyway. I just wanted to fill this room a little bit with more nature stuff. And I did think about filling the gardening pots that I had in here, but I thought I would just leave them in case you want your sim to do some actual gardening in this, because otherwise I would have just put some, like, landscaping plants in there and faked it, and it's whatever. But we have the vertical planters from Eco Lifestyle in here, as well as just a few planting pots, and yeah, that's our greenhouse. So I wouldn't really say it's anything fancy, but it's kind of nice. So working on the first bathroom, I kept the bathrooms fairly small. But I was not sure originally that I was going to lean into the nature-esque stuff, but I never use it, really. Like, we got this new toilet, we got the new shower. I just thought it would be a little strange to not use it when I'm going, like, all out on the rest of this stuff. So I just went with it. I hope that you guys don't mind, because I know it's very weird, and it's also probably not fully fitting the aesthetic, I guess. Like, I don't know if you would consider the rest of the house to be modern in any way. I did try to incorporate as much nature as I could, but I didn't do, I think, too much on the inside, really. Anyway, it's fine. I'm in the first bedroom right now, and I really wanted to put down a double bed in here, and that just did not end up happening because the room is so small. So this is more of like a kid's, maybe teen room or so. I don't know, they have a little flower press kit in there, and that's about it. So not a lot for them to do, but it's okay. I also put a guitar in here, though. So there are a few activities in here, and there's some in the master bedroom as well. Of course, there's the TV downstairs. So there's a lot to do in this house. Even if it doesn't look like it, there is, I promise. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about actually using the glass walls in some of these sections, because I feel like using it on the main house where I did was a little strange, and it really kind of stands out, I guess, like, and not in a good way. I think having that whole section off to the side with all the glass walls was probably good. Having it on the main house, maybe not, but I don't know. It's too late. I'm not changing it. You get to deal with it. You can change it yourself if you want, but I'm not going back to do that. I'm gonna be honest. I uploaded this build to the gallery like 3 times because I kept running into issues, something I missed, something I forgot to do. Like, it was really just giving me a time. But we are in the master bedroom, which has to be my favorite spot in this whole house, if I'm being honest. I just love all the glass walls around it. I think it's so pretty. Like, this is such a nice spot to have a bedroom in, and I'm a little jealous. Although the privacy, or I guess lack thereof, would be absolutely insane to me. Luckily, it is The Sims, and no one in The Sims cares. But yeah. Now, there is a section actually above this room that I had thought about doing something with, and then I forgot. And then I went to, like, try to do something with it, and it didn't work out. So it's completely blank up there, but you can do whatever you want with it if you want to make it into some kind of, like, outdoorsy space. I originally was going to put up a, like, telescope out there, and I ended up just leaving it on this little, like, kind of outdoor hall connection thing. You'll see it. You've seen the builds quite a few times now. Like, at this point, you kind of have an idea of what's going on here in the layout. But right now, I'm just fixing up the lights, and you can kind of see that little bridge connecting the master bedroom to the rest of the house. It's not covered, so your Sims are probably going to get upset if it's raining or something and have to walk across, but it's okay. So, yeah. But up here, I end up putting the telescope, obviously, but also a chess table because I just thought it would be nice to have a little section up there. Plus, imagine like the view as you're playing chess. So, I don't know. I thought it would be nice, and I didn't know really what all to do up here. So, we have just a little outdoor activity section along the way to the master bedroom. It's okay. So, yeah. Landscaping wise, we'll get into that in a moment. Um, I did not do a lot with it, which is to be expected. I don't really like landscaping. But it felt wrong, especially with the build, to not add it. Like, even though I don't like landscaping in my builds, I do it anyway because it's just realistic and nice. And like, what's the point of building a house and, you know, putting up there if you're not going to landscape? In my opinion. I understand if people don't do it because I hate landscaping too, but for my own sake, I cannot just put a build up on the gallery without landscaping. I have to do something. So I made this little garden thing. I do this a lot where I just put like one section of landscaping and just kind of overwhelm it. And I don't think I'm a fan of it, but it's too late. I needed to get some more out here, so we've got this little section here. And I actually put a few garden gnomes out here as well from the pack. So we have, I think, a total of 3 that came with this pack. And I put them all down just kind of surrounding this little zone. That's something I never do in my builds, is put the gnomes down, like, outside in the garden. But yeah, we are finally getting to the end of the footage here, so I'm gonna hop into the game and show you the build. Congratulations, you made it to the end of my rambling. Here's the build, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like the lighting on this lot. It's not very good, but yeah, you can see we've got a lot of landscaping around, and I made a little kind of windy path to the front, just to do something different, I guess. Coming up to the front of the house, we've got our mailbox here. Lots of pink stone stuff happening. We have a little bench up here. We have this item from the Blooming Rooms kit that fit kind of perfectly in here. And I just thought it'd be a nice little thing to add out here. But we've got a floating chandelier lantern thing. And that is our front patio section. So we walk in, we've got our living room right here. It's a little bit of a diagonal space. And we've got a small TV in the corner, so there wasn't really anywhere to, like, put a TV on the wall or anything, so we just settled for kind of the small section. But I think it ended up being really cute, and this isn't, like, completely new of me to do, so it wasn't, like, a big deal. We've got a little plant in the corner by the stairs, but over here is that fireplace. We've got a bookshelf over here, kitchen, which I really, really like. I did not put anything on the shelf here, I'm realizing, but it's okay. I didn't do a lot of cluttering in the kitchen, really, so I don't know. But if we come through this door, we've got our first bathroom. So here we go. I've got the shower over on this side. And yeah, that's nothing really special. But if we come back down this way, got our dining section in this little area here. And this leads into our greenhouse, which you can kind of see through the glass walls already. So we've got a big open space here, so your sim can move around pretty easily in this space. But yeah, got a couple of those vertical planters. We have some of these as well. It's a nice little space. I actually really like it. So I'm not even gonna lie, I'm actually really happy with how that turned out, even though it is really simple. And coming back through here, we're gonna head upstairs. And there's nothing really going on in this hallway. We have a clock at the end here. But then this is bedroom number 1. I think it is super duper cute. So you can treat this as a kid's room or maybe a teen room. And they have a nice little view of the water through this glass wall. Really pretty, actually. So they can work on their flower pressing and whatnot and just, yeah, get a good view. I added this little butterfly light to the wall here. I thought it would fit really well with the wallpaper. And yeah, so again, not too much going on in here. I really like it though. And then down here is bathroom number 2. And it's about the same as the one downstairs. We do have a shower tub combo though, instead of just the shower like downstairs. And then out here we have our connecting little zone. So we've got a telescope here. So this is your view when you're playing chess. You can kind of see all the nature around. There's that little bridge in the back there. Yeah, it's not too bad. And then through here is the master bedroom. And again, really like this part of the house. Definitely my favorite area. Just so nice. We've got an easel in here. Of course, little computer. Another little bookshelf thing. That is the house. I did think about adding like a ladder to try to get up to this section. It did not work out very well, unfortunately, but you can do whatever you want with that. So if you want to turn that into like a outdoor hangout space, get some like furniture up there, or maybe like a dance floor and just, I don't know. But yeah, that is the full build. I hope that you guys like it. I really do think it came out super cute, and I just love this color scheme. I'm really glad that I did this. If you'd like to download this build, you can find it as Glasswall Fairy Home on the gallery under TheSimmingKoala. That is my gallery ID. It's always in the description if you guys ever want to download anything from me, but it is literally just my name. It is 59,074 simoleons, so honestly not bad. It's not a starter home, because the starter home is 20,000 simoleons, but it's also pretty cheap compared to other homes that I have built of this size. Like, that's actually pretty decent. It does use a lot of packs, so I apologize for that, but I mean, hey, I created a basically masterpiece, in my opinion. But yeah, I hope that you guys like the build, and if you want to download it, it's there for you. I hope you all like the build. I honestly can't promise that this will be the last fairy house that I build, but it probably will be the last one for a little while, so I don't know. With a new expansion coming out soon, I am hyped for that as well, so I probably will be taking a bit of a break from building fairy homes, even just for myself. So, I don't know. I don't feel like I have exhausted the fairy pack at all, and I haven't exhausted building fairy homes, but I probably will take a small break from doing any kind of fairy home building, just in general. I am glad I managed to get an actual fairy home out for you guys, though, to use. So, yeah, I hope that you guys like it, and let me know if you download it, and let me know all your thoughts, and that's really all I have for you guys, if I'm being honest. So I think with that, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you have notifications on so you don't miss anything. Be sure to follow my socials. Links are below. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.